The 2023 Louisiana Legends interview series is brought to you by presenting sponsor, the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, our premier sponsor, the William J. Doré family, with additional support provided in part by the Irene W. and C.B. Pennington Foundation, Louisiana Lottery, and Roy O. Martin, with the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting, and viewers like you. Thank you.
Warrick Dunn, hometown hero, football legend, 2023 Louisiana legend for LPB. So very glad to be visiting with you here in Baton Rouge today. Glad you're back home and welcome home.
Well, thank you. It's always good to be home. Come back to eat a lot of times. This is where I eat bad. I have that 80-20 rule.
Okay.
That 20% of the time is Louisiana. So fried catfish, crawfish etouffee. Grandma likes to make sure I'm prepared. So when I leave, I get to take food back with me.
That's even better, yeah. So you got a little bit to go home with.
Always.
But speaking of your grandmother, let's talk a bit about your childhood. And you were one of 6 children growing up here in Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit about your childhood.
Well, being the oldest of 6, I was always outside, being active. We sun up to sundown. It's a lot different than today's environment, but we were always outside. And I started, playing organized sports at 9, 10 years old. I just happened to have a guy come into the community, said, "Hey, is there a fast kid around here?" and they pointed to the house and came by. Then I started running track. Then I started playing football. So just growing up, doing a lot of different things.
At what point as a child did you realize that you had the skill set to go further than high school or even college, or even make it to college? I mean, at what point did you realize that at some point growing up?
I never thought that I could. I never thought, because I was always the smallest kid, the lightest kid.
Yeah.
And, for me, I've always had to prove myself. Mm-hmm. So when you saw me, I'm a fast kid. I was fast.
Right.
But, I wasn't big. Yeah. So the prototype of what they wanted a running back to be and a college player and a professional player, I wasn't that.
Warrick excelled early on in sports, playing quarterback, cornerback, and running back. His sophomore year at Catholic High School, Warrick helped lead his team to the state 4A championship for the first time in its history. But during Warrick's senior year of high school, tragedy struck. 2 days before his 18th birthday, his mother was killed while working an off-duty security job.
January 7th in 1993 changed our whole life. And not knowing if we was gonna stay together or we was gonna be separated, Warrick was determined to keep us together, and it happened. We stayed together, and you couldn't ask that from another 18-year-old. Anytime we needed him, he was always there, regardless of what college class he had or what event he has. He has stepped up and gave us that father figure, that missing piece that we didn't have when we lost our mom. He took care of us before his own needs.
Warrick, you were 18 years old when your mother was tragically killed. Betty Smothers, police officer, everyone knew the story. Everyone in Louisiana followed that story and remembers it very vividly. How did that change the trajectory of your life?
Well, I would say it changed my life a lot, because a lot of responsibility I felt like fell on me, but it also changed definitely, just how I was just moving forward in life, because I couldn't worry about myself. I had to make sure I focused on my 5 brothers and sisters, and I tried to do that early on. So I think today I look back and I'm thankful that, what she taught me, how she challenged me to be better. I mean, for an example, when I was at Catholic High School, I hate to say this, but I couldn't play football. Back then they call it Prop 48 when you're not eligible
That's
to
right.
play football or play sports. And I had a .9 GPA. So she challenged me. It's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Are you going to show these people that you can do it, or I can just take you out and we can go somewhere else? And I said, no, Mom, I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna show you I can do it. And I did that. So she challenged me to be better, and I just think that's been my mentality. So she prepared me in my mind that if anything ever happened to her, that I can step in. And you don't think about that when you're going through that process,
Sure.
But looking back on it, I would say yes, she was preparing me. And you know, I'm just happy that I had the mindset of not focusing on myself, but focusing on my brothers and sisters, what was in their best interest. And I just always remember being at the hospital and walking to the room, see my mom's body, and I'm speechless. I mean, I had no idea what thing, and the first thing that came in my mind is that I got to get back home to my brothers and sisters, because that's where she would want me to be. So I went immediately into, I got to make sure they're good, take care of them. And you know, that was really my focus pretty much majority of my adulthood. For an example, my second year in the league, the youngest three moved in with me.
Okay.
So I'm in Tampa, the youngest three, I'm going to PTA meetings, doing all this stuff while I'm playing professional football.
Yes.
I got to make sure they're attending class and making the grades, and I try to support them if they're playing sports. So
It's quite a commitment.
It wasn't like I had a normal life like other athletes. I had to hone in and really focus, say, this is my priority. All this other stuff, that comes last. Even football.
You know, Warrick, you have given so much back to the community, but I want to go back just a moment to your legal ups and downs that you had to deal with following the tragic death of your mother. And you found it very important to write to the Supreme Court and put a statement out saying, you know, these people who did this to you have no power over you anymore, and that you've forgiven them. Yeah. Talk a bit about that forgiveness journey, because that's something I think everyone can learn from, and so many people struggle with it.
Yeah, I just felt like I need to go see the guy who shot and killed my mom in Angola prison, and I did that. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to see him and tell him, you know, you changed my life, that one incident of being selfish, because that was a selfish thing to do, but I forgive you. I hadn't forgotten about it. It impacts my life, but told him I forgave him, because for me, I didn't want him to have power over my life. I just felt like he was controlling my life. That whole situation was controlling my life. I didn't want to hold hands. I didn't want to have a family. I didn't want to, it changed my life a lot. And I just felt like I needed to break free of that. I needed to, you know, take my life back, take the power that this person had over me, because you know, for so many years, I was like a robot, or a train, how my mom trained me, but I was just so laser focused on the things that were in front of me.
That's right.
And I put myself last. And I just had to get to the point where I needed to take care of myself. And that was one of the steps and the things that I needed to do. And I asked my counselor, should I go? And she felt like I was in a good place to do it. And honestly, you know, I told my brothers and sisters about it, and I said, hey, you guys have anything you want me to say to them? And I shared their point of view, but I felt different when I left.
It's a very powerful and bold move to do, to confront face to face, knowing all of the things that you had to deal with to get to that place, to do that. And even since, and prior to and since, you have given so much back to the community.
Early on in his career, he founded Homes for the Holidays, a program that helps single parents secure fully furnished homes.
His foundation works to break generational poverty. And we know that it's going to affect the mother's life, but he is also interested in the way that it affects the children's lives too.
More than 210 families have been helped through Warrick's foundation, the ultimate tribute to Warrick's mother.
I think the magic of Warrick's program, Homes for the Holidays, is that it's genuine because it's connected to his experience.
It was my mom's dream of owning her own home. She wanted to provide a stable environment for us, and not making enough money or having the ability to purchase a home. I started something in 1997 by the challenge of Coach Dungy, who was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the time, about getting involved and giving back to the community. Homes for Holidays was born, and now we're actually 26 years later.
Wow.
Where we've helped 223 single-parent families become first-time homeowners. We've helped so many kids create stability. They're much more confident. They're doing better in school. You know, they're much more engaged in their community, and not understanding and realizing what a sense, or the statement that having a stable environment, a stable house, how that would impact you.
Tell us a bit about something, football accomplishment and off the field accomplishment, things that you're most proud of.
I want to be recognized for the things I did on the field, most importantly for the game of football. I loved it. I played with passion. I gave it my all, my heart. I put everything into it. I tell kids today, I worked out 3 times a day.
Incredible.
3 times a day.
Yes.
When you're undersized, I was always ready to say, hey, you know what, coach called my number, I'm gonna prove to them that I can do it. So I was always in that mindset of being ready, being prepared. And, I think for me, the benefit of, off the field activities, unfortunately comes from a tragedy. What I have done, what I've done, I have no idea. But now I enjoy what I do. Why? Because I see life-changing moments in individuals and families, and I understand how it impacts the kids, just moving forward their futures, and it gives them an opportunity to not experience what I experienced as a kid.
Well, Warrick Dunn, this has been an absolute pleasure and inspiration to have this conversation with you.
I hope we can continue moving forward, impacting the community, but most importantly, I just want to be able to help more people in the state of Louisiana.
The 2023 Louisiana Legends interview series is brought to you by presenting sponsor, the Gail and Tom Benson Charitable Foundation, our premier sponsor, the William J. Doré family, with additional support provided in part by the Irene W. and C.B. Pennington Foundation, Louisiana Lottery, and Roy O. Martin, with the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting, and viewers like you. Thank you.